Did you know that a bad water pump is one of the silent killers behind catastrophic engine failure? Here's the shocker. Over 30% of engine breakdowns are directly related to cooling system issues, and the water pump is the central player. Even worse, a failed water pump can destroy your engine in under 5 minutes of overheating, leading to repair bills that can easily top $3,000 to $7,000. Or even more for high-performance vehicles. In today's video, we're breaking down the early warning symptoms of a failing water pump, what to look out for, and how to avoid turning a $150 fix into a $5,000 disaster. But first, what does the water pump do? The water pump is responsible for circulating coolant through the engine and radiator to maintain optimal operating temperature. When it's working correctly, your engine runs smoothly without overheating. But when it begins to fail, things can go downhill fast. Let's dive into the red flags you can't afford to ignore. Symptom 1. Engine overheating. Overheating is the most common and immediate sign of a failing water pump. Your water pump is responsible for circulating coolant through the engine to prevent it from reaching dangerous temperatures. When the pump begins to fail, due to a worn bearing, broken impeller, or a leak, it can't maintain the proper flow of coolant. This causes the engine's temperature to rise rapidly, especially during long drives or while idling. If your temperature gauge constantly creeps into the red zone, or you see steam coming from under the hood, don't wait. It could lead to a cracked cylinder head or blown head gasket. Symptom 2. Coolant leaks. The water pump relies on internal seals and gaskets to keep coolant circulating properly. But over time, these components can wear out, crack, or corrode, especially under high pressure or heat. When that happens, coolant starts leaking, often forming a puddle near the front center of your vehicle. If you notice bright green, pink, or orange fluid under your car, it's a warning sign. Even small leaks can signal a failing water pump that needs immediate attention. Symptom 3. Loose water pump pulley. If you hear squeaking or chirping from the engine and suspect the water pump, try gently wiggling the pulley only when the engine is off and cool. There should be no side-to-side movement. A loose pulley often means the water pump bearings are worn out. A wobbling pulley can throw off the entire belt system and cause loss of accessory functions like alternator charging and AC cooling. This symptom means failure is imminent. Symptom 4. Steam from the radiator. Steam billowing out from under the hood, especially from the front grille area, usually means your engine is dangerously hot. This typically happens when coolant boils due to poor circulation, often caused by a failed water pump. A broken or damaged impeller within the pump may not be pushing coolant through the system effectively. If steam appears, pull over immediately. Driving any further risks extreme engine damage. Symptom 5. Rust and corrosion. Over time, coolant mixed with air or contaminants can cause rust to form on the water pump's metal surfaces. Leaks from a faulty seal can also create mineral deposits or corrosion around the housing. If you see rust-colored staining, white crusty buildup, or corrosion on or near the pump, that's a clear sign it's been leaking or operating in harsh conditions. These signs indicate your pump is no longer reliable and may soon lose its ability to function. Symptom 6. Radiator. Not circulating coolant. If your radiator hoses remain cold or the radiator itself doesn't warm up while your engine temperature rises, your coolant likely isn't circulating. A seized or broken impeller inside the water pump is often the cause. Without proper circulation, the engine overheats even though there's plenty of coolant in the system. You can sometimes test this by squeezing the upper radiator hose after the engine warms up. If it's not hot or pressurized, coolant isn't flowing correctly. If you're still watching this video, we're glad to see you truly care about your car's health. Why not take a quick second to hit that like button and subscribe for more life-saving car tips? And don't go anywhere. The next symptoms we're about to cover could hit you right where it hurts most: your wallet. Symptom 7, unexplained coolant loss. One of the more deceptive signs of a bad water pump is gradually losing coolant without seeing any obvious leak under the car. This can happen when coolant slowly leaks from the pump's weep hole or evaporates off hot engine parts before it has a chance to pool. The weep hole is a small opening that allows coolant to escape when the pump's internal seal starts to fail. If you find yourself regularly topping off coolant with no visible puddles or hose damage, don't ignore it. It's a classic symptom of early water pump failure. A pressure test or inspection around the pump area may reveal the source before it's too late. Symptom 8, high-pitched squealing from the belt. When the water pump pulley becomes misaligned or the pump begins to seize, the serpentine belt that drives it may start slipping. This causes a loud squealing noise, especially when starting the car or revving the engine. Belt slippage reduces the efficiency of all belt-driven components, not just the water pump. It can also lead to premature belt wear or breakage, further compounding the issue. Symptom 9, coolant smell inside the cabin. A sweet, syrupy smell coming from your vents while driving is often a sign of a coolant leak. If the water pump is leaking onto hot engine parts, the coolant can vaporize and be drawn into the cabin through the HVAC system. This odor should never be ignored, as it usually means your engine is running low on coolant, leading to overheating. It's also a health hazard if you're breathing in coolant vapor regularly. Symptom 10, engine temperature fluctuates. If your temperature gauge bounces between normal and hot or fluctuates without reason, it could be a sign your water pump is failing intermittently. A slipping or damaged impeller might still circulate coolant at times, but it can't maintain a steady flow. This creates an unstable temperature pattern that's hard to diagnose unless you pay close attention. It's a subtle but dangerous sign that deserves immediate attention. Symptom 11, visible shaft play or wobble. During a mechanical inspection, if a technician notices visible side-to-side play in the water pump's shaft or pulley, that's a definite sign of bearing failure. The shaft should rotate smoothly without lateral movement. Excessive play can eventually lead to complete pump failure, serpentine belt ejection, or catastrophic engine overheating. If your mechanic points this out during routine service, get the pump replaced immediately. How to confirm? It's the water pump. If you're not sure whether the water pump is the problem, here's how to check. 1. Inspect for leaks around the water pump housing and weep hole. 2. Spin the pulley. It should rotate smoothly without resistance or wobble. 3. Check for noise when the engine is running. Squeals or grinding are warning signs. 4. Use an infrared thermometer to test for uneven temperature spots on the engine block and radiator. When in doubt, have a mechanic pressure test the cooling system. How much does it cost to replace a water pump? The cost to replace a water pump typically ranges from $200 to $650 or more, depending on your vehicle's make, model, and location. Parts alone cost $50 to $150 for standard vehicles, but can exceed $300 for high-performance models. Labor charges vary widely, from $150 to $500 based on complexity and shop rates. How long should a water pump last? Most modern water pumps last between 60,000 to 100,000 miles. So if your vehicle is fairly new, there's usually no cause for concern. But in older cars, wear and tear can creep in fast. Let your mechanic know during routine service. Spotting trouble early can prevent costly engine damage later. Can you drive with a bad water pump? Short answer, no. Driving with a failing water pump can cause irreparable damage to your engine in minutes. If you've noticed any of the bad water pump symptoms we've covered, schedule a repair ASAP. We just covered the most common symptoms of a bad water pump. Now you know exactly what to look for before your engine overheats or breaks down. If you found this video helpful, smash that like button, subscribe for more auto repair tips, and drop your questions in the comments below.